Hello and welcome to the Yogscast. You are joining us playing a little game called Microscope. It's just a game that spans like all of history, and we've got to make it all up from scratch.
Wow, it's going to be a long series.
Yep, this is a 2,487 part series.
Ooh. So it's still going to be done by the end of tonight, though, right?
Yeah.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I hope you brought lots of supplies.
I've got a little bag of nuts.
A bag of nuts. That'll keep you going. I mean, you do have to share with us, though. We've got
I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh no, wow.
So where do we start?
So we're playing Microscope, which is a game, it's all about creating a gigantic period of history that we will all be collectively building together slowly over a series of events. This is not like other sort of role-playing games. It doesn't follow a single path. You'll just have to see how it goes. So first of all, we have to choose what kind of history do we want to be telling. Do you have a particular thing that you're kind of hot for? Do you want it to be sort of like a sci-fi? Would you like it to be fantasy? What kind of thing are you guys into? Like, you know, it could be anything. Anything that
about like ancient peoples with like gods and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Like very Egyptian.
Sort of like an Egyptian / Greek / Romanesque, but with that mystical element.
Yeah. So the gods are real, they're strong, and they're our friends.
Whichever way you want to go with it. That's just one of the ideas in the
Can that be the thing? Gods are real, strong, and our friends.
Well, we can add this into the thing. So sort of like an ancient civilization.
Ancient civilization's good, yeah.
Because we can add the sort of mechanics for gods and stuff in a second.
Unless anyone's hot for a fantasy or sci-fi or.
I mean,
can we make that brooch into a bit of fantasy? Have like some mythical magic.
Well, we can
decide that.
I mean, when you say ancient civilization, this is going to be like spanning a vast period of history.
Well, yeah, we might go all the way to the end.
So you mean like a sort of like very basic level of technology?
Well, so all we're looking for is our basic seed, which is just to set the tone of this. So we could just call this the rise of a civilization.
Sounds pretty good.
How does that sound?
Where gods are real.
Well, we'll kind of get to that. So how do you feel about the rise of a civilization?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, so can you, in your best boy handwriting, write the rise of a civilization?
You tasked Simon with that. Oh, God.
Now, how am I spelling civilization? Oh, the English way.
The proper way. The Queen's way.
Okay, so
Seed, what do we do? What's the first step, Tom?
So now we are going to build our palette for what we want to be in this game.
Ooh.
And
it's quite a whiff off these shoulders.
So we're going to go around the table, and we're going to probably add about 3 things each, but if we really want to add more, we can. But the moment that someone has said they don't want to add any more, everyone else can have one more go, and then it's over. And so what we're going to do is we're going to add things that we would like to be in the game, just to warn other players that we think it'd be cool to be in there, and also stuff that is a hard ban that is never allowed to be in this game.
So these are sort of maybes, suggestions, possiblies, definitely no.
So one of the important things about this game, just for everyone to know, is that once someone says something and it is on the table, you cannot change that. You cannot mess with it.
It's canon.
It is hard canon, and the idea is that you build off these things. I would like to add something that I'd like to see in this game is sort of
fairies, little wing, little.
This is where you can really troll people, isn't it?
Yeah. So I'd like there to be sort of like guilds or corporations kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
powerful
Guild of Thieves.
Yeah, like kind of big, powerful commerce things. So I'm not sure like how far we're going to expand out, but anywhere from like the East India Trading Company.
So like oligarchy.
Yeah, like merchants guilds up to megacorps. Depending on
like
how
Amazon.
Oh my God.
That's something that I would like to see.
Do I have to add a yes or do I add a no or
so
whatever?
You choose what you'd like to add.
I'd like there to be some rare mythical beasts.
Ooh, nice.
So they're rare,
But they exist.
mythical beasts.
Okay.
I like mythical beasts.
So it's not like you're walking around and there's a guild of werewolves.
Just fucking
Every corner shop is run by werewolves.
Oh my god. No.
What is it up with
that would be
Why do
great,
they
though.
always just set up corner shops?
That's a stereotype.
Okay.
You can't say that.
2018.
Werewolves, they're actually really bad. You just live in that bad neighbourhood.
Why is it a bad werewolf? What makes it bad?
Why is it going to be bad?
Because, you know, werewolves.
Because they are up all night just howling. It does
Exactly.
Oh,
It's
just
really
kick you
annoying.
up. But it's only for like
Really drives down the property price.
it's only for like 3 days. Every
These
4
werewolves have moved in next door. Fuck.
Oh my god.
What are you putting down, Ben, on the note?
I'm saying no time travel.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't think we're competent enough at storytelling
That's
to
a good
integrate
point.
time travel into a good
probably-
timeline and story.
That's true. Also, if I have to make the graphic for it afterwards, I don't want to make a circle, not a line.
Yeah, also, time travel kind of breaks this game a little bit.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. No time travel. What do you want, Simon? What don't you want?
This is the gods thing because
Okay.
I think it's a good idea. Gods are real and at war.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, and conflict
In
with
conflict?
conflict
Competition.
in conflict. That keeps it quite vague.
So what? There are good gods and bad gods. What are the gods fighting each other? Are they fighting us? What's the conflict?
Find out
maybe
as we make the
people and
world.
things are just pawns.
Okay, right. I'm gonna kind of build upon that, and I'm gonna say.
They're not.
No.
They are as powerful as an ant.
No, all gods
gods
are
are ants.
tiny. No.
There are no humanoid gods.
Oh.
So yeah, none have the classic shape of like a human being.
Right, so they can't even be like, guy with bull head or anything like that. Like
No, you can't have a
completely
human
different.
body.
You could have like could you have a centaur?
No,
Well, they're not humanoid because they're only half
They've
of them
got
is-
the bottom bit is all
The
messed
top
up.
is humanoid.
Okay, cool, bam, flat rule, just no humanoid gods.
No
No
centaurs
humanoid gods.
or
Okay.
centaurs, as Xena Warrior Princess always says.
I'm going to kind of expand on Ben's time travel, and I'm going to say no sci-fi
Oh shit! No ancient aliens.
technology.
No sci-fi technology.
So that's, I guess, anything that we don't have right now.
So nothing. Okay.
You can't go further than our time point. in
So
terms of
the
technology.
end point is now. Oh my
Okay.
god!
Wow.
Go for it, Ben.
I don't know.
Just
Give me the no sheet.
But just when you say no sci-fi technology, can you have like fantasy versions of old technology? Could you have
Oh my god, like Flintstone
could you have like
style
steampunk
stuff.
or
Oh yeah, well, yeah.
just no Star Trek?
No fucking like boop boop beep, boop boop beep, beep.
A loudspeaker
No
that's like a
lasers.
cone
Yeah,
with
no
like
lasers,
a parrot attached to it.
droids, like shit like that. There might be like fantasy versions of a droid where it's a woody
Okay.
clunky monster,
I've thought of a yes, and it's a
but
good
there's
one.
no like it's made of fully aluminium. It's here to metal fuck you.
Okay, wow.
I don't want the metal fucking droids to come out. But Simon just grabbed the fucking paper.
He's gone for it.
He's madly scrolling.
Trains,
Trains choo choo.
trains, choo choo.
I thought
wants
it'd be
trains.
cool to have trains. It's like steam locomotives, that kind of thing.
Oh man. Well, they found archaeologists have found an ancient Greek device which they've figured out was like a primitive steam engine.
Oh yeah.
It's like a
Well, it was
tiny
like
little
a child's toy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
It's like a model train set.
Well,
they
it was a thing where you boil it, the water, the steam goes through the pipe, and it makes a thing go round.
What the fuck?
And basically, they thought if the guy who invented this had been given some funding and scaled it up.
Oh, if only done like a
would've-
Kickstarter.
Yeah, if he did, yeah, they may have invented trains like 1,000
It's got to
years
be
earlier.
a train guild. There you go.
Train guild. Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
It's coming together. It's coming together.
Chew us.
No immortality
Ooh. Is that for gods as well?
includes gods.
Ooh, I like that. That's good.
What about, is immortality what if they can live for as long as they do a thing or receive a thing? Does that count as immortality? If there's a
I guess
condition
it's
on
just
Just
there?
whatever. It's basically maybe it should be just everything is mortal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everything can die.
there are
even
ways
gods.
around it. You can have, reincarnation. You can have people that are avatars of the gods
Yeah.
that are
Sure.
mortal.
But everything has to be able to die.
I have one I really like, and that is the entire world isn't explored yet.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Ooh, okay, right.
So we get some, new places, new things we don't know in there.
Okay, so just to reiterate, unless anyone has any...
I think we don't want to overcomplicate it.
I think that's good.
So there are guilds or corporations, rare mythical beasts, gods are real and are in conflict, trains choo-choo, and the entire world hasn't been discovered yet. And there is no time travel, there are no humanoid gods, there's no sci-fi level technology, and there's no immortality, including the gods. So that's our sort of like palette. We're just going to leave these up here. So now we need to bookend our timeline, where we want this to begin and where we want this to end. And this is one of the last things that we can do together as a group. After this, we are now each on our own, shaping.
Competitive game style.
That's when we start to win.
That's counting my points.
It's not that kind of a game.
I kind of think it could be cool.
When the first contact between God and man.
Yeah, something like that, or kind of like
Hello.
a god.
What the fuck are you?
It's not humanoid. It's like this weird jelly thing, or
Or
something.
like a god creates man, like creates the first.
Oh, I
shit.
don't know. Maybe that's too far back.
Is it too far?
But no, imagine if they make like a little civilized. They start the
He's like
civilized.
playing around, he's trying to make a toy for Christmas.
There's no
for his kid.
evolution.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have that as a no evolution.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, I do like
But
that.
then what? Things are what? Only the gods can create things.
Only,
nothing
yeah,
can
so only the
evolve.
gods can actually, I guess, manipulate things and modify them.
Oh, no evolution. That really throws this world on its head.
Also, the fact that we're playing the Rise of a Civilization and there's no evolution, it's not the
Well, I
rise.
think that's cool.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So a board god made a little village of people.
Yeah, well,
It's
God,
like an experiment.
God creates the first people.
Do we say which god?
No, we're just saying,
Just a
we're
god.
using it as a loose period. We can come in and add the events into this in a minute.
Cool.
So, are we happy with God creates the first people?
A god.
I think
A
we're saying a
god.
god.
Yeah.
I like a
Let's
One
not
god.
be
god.
too specific about.
Yeah.
There's only one.
Do we know how long ago this would have
Creates.
happened? Were we talking just like a few thousand years ago?
First.
Decide, really, couldn't we?
10 years ago.
And
my God.
do we think this is a good thing, or like a good period, or a dark period in history?
Oh,
Is it
Depends what they created us for. Are we their slaves?
Yeah.
Or are we?
Well, we have no idea yet.
Is it bad because they're sticking around afterwards and like trying to meddle with us and not leaving us alone? Like, what's the
What's the tone?
let's have some hope.
kind of
Creative
think it's-
people, it's got to
Yeah,
be quite.
it's the rise
come
of
on.
this civilization that we're telling the story of. So,
It's
right. So this is the end of our timeline. One end, the beginning. How are we going to end this? What is going to be the end of the civilization?
All of the gods destroy all people.
Yeah, I say it's got to be
It
something.
takes all of the gods together.
Oh no!
Well, I was
Or
gonna
we
say,
destroy gods.
we destroy
all
gods.
the gods are dead.
Yeah, we kill them all.
God!
Or we leave it open-ended and it's the final confrontation between man
Oh,
and
the
gods.
final battle. It's the
Perfect.
final battle.
And then it doesn't. Then we. Who knows?
in their
who's going to
steampunk
win?
titans
Yeah.
fighting gods.
It
It's like
starts
Pacific
off.
Rim, but shit. It's just like steampunk Pacific Rim.
It starts off. This starts off with a single god creating all people. What if a single person kills all gods?
Oh, I like that. That's
Jesus.
fucking
No, it's not
awesome.
Jesus.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
I do like that.
Yes.
Yeah, one man ends it all.
Well,
Or woman.
I'll just put a
Or fishman.
person
Or
Rare
enemy.
mythical beast sign.
kills.
Beware
The
the
fishmen were
fishmen.
the example.
Sorry, yeah.
The four recording.
I like it. I still
They're
like
not
it.
canon.
I still want to put a period in that just says the fishmen coming.
So, is this good? A happy period or a
Person
dark
kills
period?
all- I think it's. I feel like that should have been the dark.
I
one,
think
that should be
for
the
the
happy
mirror,
one.
it
Yeah.
needs to be dark.
Okay.
For the poetry to rhyme.
But I mean, as Barrett said, maybe it starts off
I
dark.
think this should have been dark, and that should be the good. I think that should be like the twist.
Okay,
is the,
we can do it that way.
Maybe.
I want them to be opposite. I don't want them to be
I agree. But I feel like
I
that
kind of
being,
think
that
being dark is kind of cool. It sounds dark.
because it's kind of the end of hope, and because they can't
Yeah.
evolve. Like without the gods to create
the guy killing the gods.
the world's
he could be
very stagnant.
He could be an evil person. He could
Well-
be doing it to spite everybody.
Might not be a good thing.
It might
don't
not,
know
he might not
yet.
be doing it for
We
a
don't
good
fucking
reason.
know.
Right, I'm gonna do it. Right, I'm just gonna do that as dark.
We're locked in.
So
The X-Men.
I just couldn't bother to like colour the whole thing. There we go. Are you happier?
Oh fuck! We didn't ban X-Men. Now they're
How I think this is looking pretty good. So now what we do is we add periods, events, or scenes to the game. A period is like a period of time. An event will be set within one of the periods of time, and you're kind of focusing in. You're getting more specific, like
Like a microscope.
like a microscope pen. So you might talk about the classics era. That could be a period. But then you might
Golden
talk
Age.
about the Battle of something or other. Give me a good classics battle.
The siege of Doghouse.
Perfect. And so that could be an event set within a period.
Okay.
And then you may want to put a scene which is set within that, we'll explain that when we get to it. So now, before we begin the game properly, we have to do what's called the first pass. And we are each going to add a single thing to this board.
Period and event.
So
or
you
a
can
scene.
either add a period or an event. You can't add any
scenes at this point. Okay.
And we're just naming them and not going into any details.
So if you're doing a period's generally quite open-ended. An event, you can be as specific as you want.
Okay.
So
do we do it in turns?
So now we can no longer interfere with what each other say at all. All you can really do is ask for clarification. It'll begin with me. So I think I want to add a period where corporations start enslaving gods for profit.
Oh.
Is that all gods, or are they just beginning to enslave just a few? Or
It's
Ambiguous,
just,
whatever.
I don't know, they're just beginning to use the gods in some way, definitely not in a good way.
for profits?
Well, it's dark for the gods, I guess.
But I think this is quite like a dark period. And so I'm just going to put that slap bang in the middle.
I was going to say, so this is the way we just put it. We can put every event is just either happens before or after, and in between events. There's no like time scale.
So periods you can just keep going. This could end up being here, and everything comes after that, or that could be right at the end, and then a person kills all the gods. And the same with when we are putting events down, they will just build down from the periods as we place them.
I'm going to do the first contact with the gods.
First contact with the gods.
What are you going to do, Ben?
Is it the fishman cometh?
Yep.
Give me the pen.
You're like that guy from Cabin in the Woods.
What guy?
The guy who was in the West Wing, who's like completely obsessed with mermen.
Oh wow!
I said I was going to do it. I'm a man of my word.
See, the first contact
Is that why
with
you got
gods.
thrown out of that showing of
So
the
does that mean
Shape
like
of
humans
Water?
have never spoken to
You're
gods?
interfering with yourself in the cinema.
Not that kind of cometh.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess it means up until that point we were. I assume we knew they existed.
Maybe
We
we've
believed in
been
them.
praying to them, asking for something, but we had nothing in response.
No, like dialogue had been
Maybe we
made.
kept ringing them. No one answered.
They left like this phone number. They were busy fighting, or I don't know.
Oh, is it like the Eminem song? Stan.
Stan. Is that the man? Is that the man at the end? Are you just going to add the event? Stan kills the gods.
Oh, I can't believe, and it's good.
Oh shit! I didn't label my thing.
Are you sure it's there? It's not before or after?
No, I wanted it in between.
Okay.
I feel
Jesus
like
Christ.
yeah.
I'm not questioning you. I'm just clarification.
Clarifying.
It's over to you, Simon. You get to add something.
An event.
So if you ever have ideas, hold on to them.
Yeah,
Wait
yeah.
till it gets round to you and start to use these to shape
So
history
how-
in the way you would like it.
I mean, how specific do I need to be for the event to differentiate it from a scene?
So it needs to be fairly specific. You need to kind of know, you know, you'd want to say what happens. Like, so,
I'll say what's on my mind. Okay. So you have corporations enslaving gods for profit. My idea is that you need a god to power the train that encircles like the globe or whatever.
Okay,
So
yeah, that 100%. So the whatever, the Grand Orient Express opens
the unveiling
of the Orient Express, the god-powered god-powered train. So just to reiterate, although you guys can ask me questions and I will be explaining more of the rules to you, in no way am I the games master or in charge, more so than any of you. Just so you know, this is a completely collaborative.
So it's like a transcontinental, that's the word.
Ooh. Oh, but the entire world hasn't been discovered yet. So maybe we need to have like a discovery of like the world for the entire train. Maybe that's like linked. The train that goes around the world.
Maybe the train goes to like the new world.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
Is that when the fishmen come in?
Oh God, I don't know. It's tricky because we've decided that enslaving gods is bad for some reason.
Well, no, just that it's a bad time.
It's a sad time. Yeah.
But maybe this was full of hope. We're like,
Yeah, for sure.
Look, I've liquefied a god. Time to pour him in my engine.
Yeah, well, that's the good thing. It came out of the bad thing.
Whether it's like enslaved. I mean, this is totally ripped off by from a John Scalzi story, but it's spaceship.
Wow. Well, now we're gonna get sued, Simon. Great.
He's pretty cool. I've said his name.